Smooches, and welcome back to Live with Lauren. If this is your first time here, let me formally introduce myself. Based on my channel name, my name is Lauren, and this is my YouTube channel. And up here I do all things cozy and crafty, and I take you along into my creative lifestyle. And today it's mid-April. I think yesterday was tax day. And I was like, what better thing to do than let's do a Q1 wrap up. I've been seeing a lot of people online treating their life in terms of quarters, how in the business world they do it. And I was like, that is such a cool idea to implement in life. And I would love to look at my knitting journey and crochet journey through that lens. And honestly, your girl has been knitting up a storm. I was going through all the things I've made since January, and it's actually kind of insane. And just to explain how insane this has been, I'm just going to show you my sweaters I've made. And I will rest assured, I am taking a short break for making sweaters because I have enough to wear for an entire week now, which is a bit insane if you ask me. So I think in the coming months, I'm going to be focusing more on summer tops, maybe some shorts, some more fun stuff instead of just sweaters, because sweaters are a lot. And also what they don't tell you is that they can get expensive, especially if you're working with nice wool or mohair. Ew, it gets expensive real quick. Some sweaters I've made have cost upwards of $150, but it's all for the nice texture and it helps with the overall quality of it. And if I'm spending many hours knitting something nice, then I want it to be made with the best materials possible, right? So anyways, let's get back on track. So today I'm going to do a little quarterly wrap up and show you everything that I knit in the past 4 months. Wait. Has it been a quarter? I guess it's more the last third of the year. Anyhow, we're gonna call it Q1. I've been working on some other stuff here in April. All the stuff I finished towards the tail end of March anyway, so we're calling it Q1. Let's take it away with the first finished project I made. If you have been watching my channel here for the last few months, you have definitely seen this. This is the Paradox sweater by Miss Bailey Baird, also known as Engineering Loops. And I am obsessed with this sweater. I used drops Nepal to make it, and the colorways red and white. And it worked up. It could have been quicker. I made many mistakes on it, so it caused me to have to go back and remake it. I believe it was 3 or 4 times.
Oh my god, I almost died!
So, but I had fun and I got really good at color work from it, which you'll actually see sprinkled in some of the coming up pieces coming up. But I'm really happy I decided to challenge myself so early on in the year to try out color work. And also it was really cool because I was able to wear this on my little birthday dinner because I had finished it in time. But I remember I was blocking the day before and it was still slightly wet, and when I walked into work, it was my birthday, right? And I was like, oh, this is just a little cold because it was still cold outside. And wearing cold wool, bruh, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It absolutely stinks. And also whenever you block wool or wash it, it can have that wet dog smell. And it's funny because my little dog August, he's not here with us right now. He's taking a little nappy nap. But he is obsessed with it and he'll rub all over it. So I have to be very conscientious about where I decide to block at. So I end up living on the kitchen island for a couple days, just drying out, and I can't use it then. All besides the point, I love how this sweater turned out, and I would honestly really like to make this in more colors, maybe a green. I saw that Miss Bailey herself actually did it in a green, and I was really obsessed with it. I think she's made a green and a pink one. It's giving Cosmo Wanda, am I right? I'm really happy with this. Also, I really like how this drops Nepal worked out. It's really a beautiful yarn to work with, and it was very cost effective, honestly. My one nitpick with it is the fit of it is not like any sweater I've ever had before. It is a raglan, but the armpits do go a little bit far down on it, which is a little frustrating. So you can walk with your arms down. But overall, I really am happy with how this one turned out. The next sweater I worked on is actually a little outside of my comfort zone, and I decided to make a v-neck sweater, and I made the whole pattern for myself, so completely self-drafted. And I used a cashmere cotton with a cotton yarn held double. So it was a lightweight and a DK weight yarn. And it is the prettiest color I've seen on this sweater that I've made. I was a little bit hesitant about it at first because it was a little brown, and I was like looking at the cashmere yarn. Actually, I have some right here. It looks like more pink, right? But like there's a small gradient in it, so the inside of it was pink, but then the outside is a darker color, so there's a natural color gradient to it, which I wasn't thrilled about. But once I got into it, I'm really overall happy with the final product for this. And it's just like a fun little sweater. And my intention with this is, it is like 3/4 sleeve right now, but I might end up adding more length to it. But I wanted it to serve more as a good transition piece between winter and spring. And that's why I use cotton, because cotton is so breathable and it is so comfy to wear. And adding the cashmere like helps it stay warm, but also with helping it just look just a step above. I really was liking how that worked out. And it is so freaking soft. It doesn't pill at all because of the cashmere. I swear to God, this isn't a cashmere ad. But I'm really happy with it. And I decided to go with a V-neck because a couple of my store-bought sweaters that are most beloved in my wardrobe are V-necks. And I was like, oh, I can't find a good V-neck. Only good one I could find online was like, I think the Lakes V-neck. That one I really like the design of. But I was like, oh, I could do this on my own. And after doing some math and sitting with it, I was really confident in it. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And honestly, maybe later on I'll end up releasing a pattern for it. I keep saying that. And I'm working right now on a design, and I would really love to share it with y'all. And I will be looking for testers here soon. Keep your eye out for that. Anyhow, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. The fit of it is great. My only complaint is the V-neck is a little too wide, so like it kind of serves more as like it's almost a sweetheart in a way, and like it can slip off a little bit. But all in all, I really like this. And I do have a couple more tweaks I would do before I release it as a pattern. But it was a lot easier than I thought. And I'm really proud of myself for trying out something new and trying it out. I'm really happy with it. And also the yarn was a new choice. I got more comfortable using like 2 strands after doing the Monday sweater by Petite Knit. So I was like, oh, I can do that. I've done it before. I did mohair in merino wool. So I was like, that shouldn't be too different. And I really enjoyed the process, and I will definitely be working double strands on future sweaters. Maybe not all sweaters, because it can be a pain in the butt sometimes, especially when they get tangled up and when you have to add in more yarn, because sometimes the lengths don't add up right and you have to like tie on a couple inches apart. It can be a little frustrating, but all in all, I'm really happy with how this sweater turned out. The next sweater I worked on is the Lynx sweater by also Miss Bailey Baird from Engineering Loops. And for this sweater, I used a Barocco yarn. I forgot what the name of it is. I'll put it here. Anyhow, I really like this sweater. I kid you not. The amount of times I've worn this is diabolical. I need to take this out of my wardrobe for a minute. I was wearing it way too much, at least a couple times a week without washing it, because it's a pain in the butt to wash your sweaters. When I do wash, I wash it good. I usually wear an undershirt. Is that good? I'm just being honest here. Anyhow, I really like the overall stitch definition, and I found the pattern to be super easy to follow. And also compared with the Paradox sweater, I love the fit of this one a lot more. The armhole feels a lot more natural, like a normal sweater. It doesn't feel too low. And also there's a lot more flexibility with like how big you had the overall decrease on the sleeves. And I do wish I decreased it a little bit more on the sleeves, because it's more of a bell sleeve right now and it's a little thick for my preference. And I wasn't able to end up adding any ribbing to it, but I really like the more unfinished look by not adding ribbing. Ribbing can be, oh, I hate it. It heals my hand because you have to switch what position the yarn is in every other stitch, and it can be a pain. But even though this sweater is all over ribbing, I really liked it, and it was so satisfying, and it worked out really quickly too. I think I like finished it in a week or two, and I really love it. The Barocco yarn I used was a cotton blend with some other stuff in it. I forgot what the other things were, but I really like it. And again, it's a good winter to spring transition piece because it is, I used a bit of a bigger needle to have a little bit more of a wider stitch definition. And I really like that for a nice spring piece. So then in the wintertime, if I want to wear it, I can just wear a heavier undershirt under it. But I can also just wear the sweater as is. And again, I just really like the overall definition with it and all. The pattern features a lot of cables in it, which I really like. And with my other two sweaters, they were like, my v-neck one was very just stockinette stitch. The paradox sweater was color work, so I was craving that more cable work-esque kind of sweater. And the last time I had done it was like my folklore cardigan, so I was like, oh, now is the perfect time to do some more cables. And I was so happy to get into that. And now I have that cable itch again because I haven't done it in a minute. Actually, that's a lie, I have done cables. Actually, with that being said, why don't we go into the next sweater that I worked on? This is the Arctic Bunny jumper by Miss Knitting Faye or Vera Grazia here on YouTube. And I knit this sweater using the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino and the Knitting for Olive mohair. And I love this sweater so much. It's so cozy. It's very much like a pullover, I would say. It's like I would wear this more as like over kind of piece, if that makes sense. It's very comfy and cozy. I am obsessed with it. And the main cool for this sweater is that it features a cowl neck, which is really fun to knit. It's really easy too, honestly. And it has these little woodland creatures up there, which you make using like a combination of knit and purl stitches. So it's really neat that you can still see the little animals without having to do color work or anything. It's all one color, which is really freaking cool. And also around it, it features this little flower motif, and that was so fun because I got to learn how to do a bobble stitch. Those are a blast. It was definitely a learning curve, learning how to do it, but I think it's really easy the way she describes it. And also, another cool selling feature with this sweater is that it was my first ever test knit. And I adored the process. I am currently right now doing some editing towards her document that she gave us for the pattern just to help give her some pointers and areas she can improve. And I love the whole process of test knit. If you saw my video, I was going over why, like just some considerations to give to it before you like dive into it, but I really like the process of being able to help other crafters improve their craft and have the best product available out there, right? And it's really cool to engage with the community and all. I've made a lot of new friends and stuff in the like, chats and stuff we have for the test knits, which has been really cool. And it's kind of like a knit along, honestly, because we're all knitting the same thing. We can give opinions on yarn and different stitches and not. So that has been such a fun process to go through. And let me give you a little sneak peek. I may have submitted my name for a couple more test knits coming up. And I'm actually completing one right now, but I'm not going to be including it in this video because it's outside of Q1. So maybe in the future you'll see what it is, especially if you keep me posted on your Instagram. I post pretty frequently about all my different knitting updates and whatnot, so if you don't follow me yet, go give that a whirl and you can stay up to date with all of my knitting adventures. Anyhow, this Arctic Bunny jumper was so fun, and I really like too how there's a lot of flexibility in which creatures you decide to do. So the front features 3 and the back has 4, but she does give a recommendation that if you want extra length, you can add an extra creature. There's nothing stopping you, right? And there's, I think, 6 or 8. There's a lot of different animals that were featured. And even in our test group chat, some other people were putting together other animals to do. It was so cute. Someone put a panda, and I was like, that's so precious. Imagine a sweater that was just all pandas. I was definitely getting the urge towards the end when someone put the panda right at the end when I was finishing up the animals, and I was like, oh, I had known that if I had that idea, I would totally do that. And I definitely got the urge to frog back and change it up. But I did, and I ended up keeping which ones I had. And I think I did a bear, fox, owl, deer, and a moose, and a bunny. That's a lot of animals. I did a lot. I know I did a deer on the front and then an owl and a fox on the back. I really like deer, so I was like, I'm gonna have a deer up here. When I was growing up, I would see like deer in my backyard every single day. So I was like, I have to include this. Like, this is so freaking cool. I love little woodland creatures too. They're so freaking precious. And it's just so whimsical, right? And I'm out here trying to add a little bit of whimsy to my everyday life. It is, Lord knows we need it, right? So with that, going off into, or continuing on with the little woodland creature vibe, this will be the last sweater we go over, very sadly. But let's take a minute to just like brief real quick. I did 5 sweaters in this past 3.5 months or whatever time might I end up going with. And that is a crazy pace. Your girl needs to slow down with the needles. Let's just pull back on it. Anyhow, this, oh, here, let's get the bears in. This is the bear sweater. Oh my gosh, it's so stinking cute. And this was designed by Kate Creek Designs. She has also made this really cool moose sweater that I really want to make. And it's a similar kind of design to this, except there's a different color work right here. And instead of bears, it's moose. But it's still like a raglan kind of pattern. And I do have an idea. I think it's for someone I really love. Who knows? We'll see. Anyhow, this is a good old raglan, and there is some German short row shaping in it, as you can see. Yeah, see that right there. That's what happens when you have self-striping yarn and you're doing German short rows. Can look a little funky, but it is in the back, so my hair would cover it. So we are all good. And honestly, even though there is that little caveat with the German short rows, I love this color, or color of the yarn. And I'm so glad to say that Miss Kate Creek Designs actually sent me the yarn to make this sweater. Wow! Which was so cool. I remember when I went to the mailbox to pick it up, I was like, oh my god, my yarn is here. And she had the cutest bag too that she sent it in. I was just so excited to get started and cast on. I kid you not, 10 minutes after I opened that bag, I was already casting on for my gauge watch. I was very excited to do this sweater. And anyhow, this sweater was so fun because it combined 2 of my current obsessions in sweater designs right now, color work and raglans. I don't know what it is, but I think I am a raglan girly. The way they fit is perfect. It is dreamy. I'm just obsessed with it. They fit perfectly, and honestly, working on the yoke is a blast. It takes a while, but it just makes sense, and the construction of it, even when you wear it, is awesome. There's not a lot of like seaming together at the end, which is something I try to avoid. I hate seaming so much. I know it only takes an hour or 2, but when I was making the sailor slippers, oh my god, I was gonna lose my mind because there was so much seaming at the end. Because you make it from the top half of the shoe to the bottom half, and then you need to seam like the whole shoe together. Oh my god, that took hours. I did not enjoy that process at all. But with a raglan, you don't have to. And you don't really have to cast on anything because everything's already cast on. You cast on a few stitches under the underarms and you keep on cruising. Anyhow, this sweater, dreamy. I love it, obsessed. So with this sweater, I used the Queensland Fiji yarn in the colorway Long Island, I believe. And again, Miss Kate Creek Design sent it to me herself, which I was really grateful for. Thank you if you're watching. And I also went to the Fiber Fest around the time I was working on this sweater. So for the bears, I picked up like a cream and a navy yarn from a local dyer there. And it just turned out so cute. I'm really happy I ended up going with the navy color because I think it complements the Fiji yarn a lot. And also, let's say towards the end, I was playing a very brutal game of yarn chicken. So not fun. I actually had to take apart my gauge watch and I still was out of yarn. So being me and being resourceful, I was like, I don't want to buy another ball of yarn. It's not gonna get here quick and I want to finish this sweater. I want to cast it off so I can wear it. So I pulled together some yarn I had laying around here. I think there's some Malabrigo in it. There is some just like thicker like roving wool in it. And it's not roving, but it's like spun. Random yarn I had laying around and it got the job done. Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but I'm the only one that knows that, and now all of you. So, never know what sleeve it was on that I ran out of yarn. Just don't look too closely. Anyhow, I really like how this sweater turned out because, like the woodland creatures on the Arctic Bunny jumper, I grew up around bears, like dig up the peanut fields and whatnot. And they are so cute. I know that they're ferocious and mean, but they are so cute. I know bears can run like grass and swim fast too, I think, if I remember correctly. But I really love it. It's just so whimsical, and I cannot wait for fall to come to like wear this sweater again. Yes, I have worn this in the 70-80 degree weather because I'm obsessed with it that much. Yes, I also wore something underneath, and I will probably be needing to wash this before the fall comes around because it stinks. Because your girl's sweaty. That's the one annoying thing about making your own sweaters. And they're a pain in the butt to wash. But overall, I'm really happy with how this sweater turned out. Pattern itself was like written, and just like the Arctic Bunny jumper, this was also a test knit. And I'm currently working on doing some revisions to her pattern so I can give her some good feedback and comments on the back, or just to give it back to her. I'm still working on posting some pictures from that. So again, if you don't follow my Instagram, give that a whirl and you can stay up to date with all my knitting ventures. And all in all, I have knit a lot, right? There has been wool sweaters, cotton sweaters, everything, all between. It's actually kind of crazy because with every single sweater I did a different like brand of like yarn, which is really cool because I use Barocco knitting for Olive, local dyed stuff, drops, and even though they were all different, I had a blast like doing it all. And also it was cool like able to do some patterns from like that I've been following here for a while. So like I've been following Engineering Loops for a while. The Paradox sweater was on my to be knit list for a long time. So I was really excited to get into it and just give it a try. And I really like her patterns, so I will definitely be getting some more of her patterns. And also I've been following Knitting Faye for a while, and I've been wanting to do some of her stuff, and Kate Create Designs. So it's been a good time like trying patterns from some like little and stuff, and trying to like out their stuff. And also I got to give myself a whirl on making a pattern and making my own sweater using just like my own tuition. And yes, I did not do much counting. I kind of knit for funsies. That's my one pitfall when it comes to a knitter, is like, unless told, I will just kind of put it out and hope it turns out good. And 90% of the time it does, because I'm a fairly good counter, which is the one thing you do need to be if you're gonna get into fiber arts, because Lord knows it is hard to count. Whew. I just hate counting. You can ask anyone I knit around. The amount of times I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4 is crazy. Oh my god, it's just a pain. Anyhow, with all that being said, I have knit a ton in this like quarter of the year, and we still have 3 more to go. Or I guess we have like months. Am I doing math right? It's April. Yes, 8 months. So there's gonna be so much more that I have left to make, and I'm currently working on 2 summer tops as we speak right now, and I'm excited to make some more, and also just like challenging myself outside of my own comfort zone. And just I'm so glad to be able to knit here with y'all today. I would love to hear what projects you are working on while watching this video. Make sure to comment them down below. And if you like what you saw today, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my crafting ventures. And please share this video with some of your crafting buddies. I'd love to get my name out there into the crafting space and fiber world. Oh, fiber world. Imagine, but Disney World, but fiber world. Like the tilt-a-whirl, we have the spinning wheel. Would be, oh, that would go so hard, dude. Thank you so much again for watching, and XOXO, Lauren.